Ford versus Honda, take one. So 3D printing and car manufacturers have recently started doing different things. Now, Honda actually issued a bunch of takedown notices for car accessories, different car parts, and things with the Honda logo on them. And this isn't the first time there's been a mass takedown of files. There's been ones for other cosplay parts, Captain America, Disney products. And so Honda is basically going one way with this, where they want you to only buy their products, even if their products have degraded or aren't in stock or caught in some supply chain nightmare. Because I've seen things like radiator caps, windshield washer fluid caps, different logo parts, some small accessories and other parts for download on different file sharing sites. And every car company has people that have made just all the little different plastic bits that go into a car nowadays. Now, the weird thing is Honda does have a right to protect their trademarks, so some of the things like logo pieces and like proprietary clips or anything like that, I could understand being taken down. But other things like cup holders and replacement parts, um, that's a big legal issue that I don't really have a good answer on because the customer bought the car, so it's their right to repair it. Now, should they use OEM equipment or aftermarket? Yes. If they have a 3D printer, this is what 3D printers were designed for. So if I could fix a car part for 10 cents instead of having to go to a dealer or go to a um, auto supply shop and having to pay like $10 for a clip, hell yeah, I'm going to 3D print it. So Honda's probably legally they're probably in the right for doing this. It's their trademark and their right to defend it. But it's not buying them any goodwill with the 3D printing community. Ford, on the other hand, just released their Maverick truck, and in it they have what's called the FITS system, and it's the Ford Integrated Tether System, so it's a catchy name. And in this, it's got mounting points on the back console and in the underseat storage area. So you could actually drop in some accessories that they've released the files for. Or actually, Ford also sells an accessories package for like $100 where you could basically buy the same thing from them. Now, what's cool about this is that they've actually released the um, files for this. So you could actually go and let's see if I can find the site again. So Ford's actually released the CAD file for the attachment points and the settings for that. And here's a PDF form that actually explains um, just a quick overview of the different uh, data, different attachment points for this. And Joel, the 3D printing nerd, actually has released a video as well about his experience with the Fitz truck. So I'll include all the links for this below. But this is a first step forward because they actually, in 2016, they actually released a 3D printable package for different car models. And so you could actually go to their site. You could either buy a print model or pay about $5-10 for the STL file. And this way, local dealers could actually 3D print their own models in-house. And so this isn't Ford's first time publicly 3D printing things. I kind of wish they kept up this program. This was probably a limited release thing. But I think even today, having 3D printed models that are licensed and approved by the companies would be a great thing because people can make RC car shells or dealer models. So that's way dealers don't have to carry the full inventory of expensive cars on hand, but they could have a model that says, hey, here's this whole thing, and then have something for the customer. Um, what do I think about this? So, what do I think about this? Right now, Ford is really kind of limited on what they're doing with this fit system because they're only including a set of attachment points on the back of the center console and in the passenger uh, underseat compartment. And so they're not really giving you a lot to attach it to or a lot to use in terms of their fit system. Um, Pretty much it seems like they're making an offering just to test the market. It doesn't seem like I haven't heard anything about any attempts to put this in other cars or if they're going to make future cars with more attachment and points like this. Because the accessories they're offering are things like cup holders and dividers and trash bag holders. So they're pretty minor accessories that some people, excuse me, that some people use and others won't. Now, there's a story I heard about Henry Ford, who was the founder of Ford Motor Company. Um, One time he was watching employees solder the caps onto a gas can, and they were using 40 drops of solder. And he went to the person soldering them and asked, "Can you do it with 39?" They tried it and it worked just fine. And in doing so, they saved the company a few $100 a year in just solder alone. So Ford's actually probably onto something here where these kind of accessories are ones that might get broken a lot or not every customer will use. So it leaves it up to the customer to fork over any cash and get the items 3D printed by themselves. This is good for a lot of reasons for Ford because it does save them some money on printing the small accessories that may or may not always get used. It gives the owners, the ability to modify the fits points for their needs. So if an owner just needs a special bracket to hold something in that storage compartment, they can make that. Or if in the future, when you have a different shape iPhone or whatever, you can print up your own mount for it instead of having to go somewhere and have that mount mass produced. So Ford's actually onto something here where some of the petty small things can be 3D printed at the owner's expense. It's great for the owner and it's great for Ford. And I think this is something that car companies should do in the future because there's lots of things in cars that are just, there's junk that doesn't need to be there. And there's also, hey, what if I could put a point, had something I could put that my phone or trash bag or cup holder or whatever. And there's a million different cups and there's a million different cell phone designs. So rather than try and deal with that on the corporate end, where you'd have to buy and print, or you'd have to buy and assemble and make like 10,000 minimum, this leaves all those small accessories up to the consumer. Now, do I think Ford will do this in the future? I hope so. It does give the owners that right to repair and flexibility for their actual lives. It also, like I said, it does save Ford some money on the upfront cost. And this is going towards some of those subscription models that like Tesla is trying to do. But imagine if Ford released like quarterly or annually a new set of design packages, where it's like, hey, here's this quarter's design of cup holders and special accessories that maybe even the owners have designed. So they could use what's going on in the 3D printing world to help drive business in. And they could also, again, release all those things and let the owners build those parts at their expense. Now, right now, the fit system is really limited to just those few attachment points. Future cars should probably expand those because I know you could definitely have some up front, and so the driver can mount up whatever phones or cup holders or whatever they need. Now, I've actually written about this a while ago where Ford um, was making 3D printed models, link below, and other companies have done similar things where they've released approved products for 3D printing. Now, if automotive companies want to be competitive in the future, they might want to watch this because it's one thing to print little accessories for the cabin of the car, but it would be great if there was ST packages available for various parts of the car. So things like hood ornaments, latches, hitch part or trailer parts, caps, spacers, any of those plastic bits that will eventually break in a car. Yes, you can buy them from the company, hoping that the supply train issue is fixed, or you could just release the 3D printable files for those and release the technical information that the consumer would need to know, like, hey, print this in ASA or TPU so it doesn't melt inside your car. And if you print this and use it, it's your liability. Because Honda kind of shot themselves in the foot. The parts that get printed for the Honda cars I've seen have been like washer reservoir caps that no one can find anymore, or clips, or replacement handles, or things like that. So these are parts that cars consumers are going to break on their cars. And with the current supply chain issues, plus everything that's going on politically and just around the world, Ford can do this. Ford's on the right track here where they could sell the file package, and other companies should follow that. Whereas the other companies could sell things for packages for like cup holders and little accessories, but also provide the technical data to consumers to once again be able to print or make their own parts, replacement parts for cars. Now, that's not going to say, I'm not going to say print every single part for the car if possible, but things that consumers break all the time, the door handles, uh, mirror covers, uh, anything like that. It'd be cool to actually try and print light lens covers, and let the consumers take care of some of that upfront cost of production, because that's really kind of going to be the only way to go forward in the future. Is, well, if I break my car part of my car, how am I going to fix it? Because I could take it to a dealer's going to rip me off. I could go to a box store, hope they have the part and that it's something I can fix. Take it to a mechanic, get charged a lot there. I could live with it, not have to deal with it. But what's the point? So Ford's on the right track here. I do wish they would expand it, and other car companies probably should follow what Ford's doing and release technical packages for consumers. Um, and this is where 3D printing would really come into play because, it was designed for one-off things like this. So instead of having to wait and hope that, your box store or dealer has the part or wait a month for it, or even more now because of the supply chain issues. Well, I could just pay $5 for the download it, print it, clip it into my car. And for $5 for the file plus, you know, dollars worth of filament, if that, I could totally fix this car part. If you want to download the files for the fit system, I'll include the links below. You might need to convert them if you don't have something like SolidWorks, because when I downloaded them, they did come out as, let's see, downloads. So the zip file came out as a cat part file, IGS file, and STP file. So you might need a converter if you want to do this, but that's fairly easy to do to go from different CAD files. Let me know what you think below in the comments. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I might do a follow-up where I might even download this, so please let me know what you want to see. Thank you.